NAD, nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide. That is the substance that we're going to be talking about today. Now, this is going in my peptide series. NAD is not technically a peptide. However, it acts and functions similar to peptides in the body, as well as works very synergistically with peptides. And there's a lot of hype around NAD right now. So I want to talk about NAD as it is also a very powerful anti-aging tool, because as we get older, NAD declines along with other sex hormones and peptides that are responsible for our youth, right? So they're all kind of coincided together. So let's get into it, right? What's up, guys? My name is Nayam Vazakis, and I am a human optimization specialist. I work with peptides, I work with nutrition, with diagnostics, with biohacking, with plant medicine. I use all these different things to help to get you in a very surgical way and customize programs to get you on your most optimized path to live your most fullest quality of life. So NAD declines with age, and this is directly associated to the amount of inflammation that we have in the body. And everyone, I don't care who you are, we all get to a point where we create or get to a toxic load, if you will, from all the toxins and substances that are out there that are not good for us: pesticides, poisons, heavy metals, mold, fungus, yeast, pathogenic bacteria. All these things contribute to inflammation. The more inflammation we have, the more the NAD has to work to try to mitigate the inflammation, because alongside with inflammation is mitochondrial dysfunction. Those two typically go out of balance at a parallel rate, okay? Now, NAD is directly correlated to mitochondrial function, because NAD is the producer of ATP, which is our cellular energy, right? So especially if you take a lot of stimulants, right? Stimulants, I know a lot of people on Adderall, stuff like that. So over time, the adrenals get fatigued and burnt out. Cortisol shoots through the roof, and then cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down, growth hormone goes down, particularly as we age. All these things contribute to the imbalances that make the body less efficient at making and functioning with NAD. So when we consume NAD, it fills the body with this enzyme that helps the mitochondria to function better. Not only that, but it helps to recycle senescent cells, or also called zombie cells, right? These cells are cells that are not functioning at their max capacity. And what determines the functionality of a cell is the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. It's very protective, and it keeps it functioning at its 100% rate. That's why we see kids running around. They have energy for days, right? Because they have a ton of NAD and they have very little amount of inflammation. And that combination gives you plenty of energy. You don't need stimulants and caffeine and coffee and all these things to keep going, right? So as we get older, we have to supplement with these things. But not only that, all right, we have to look at where the inflammation is coming from, the root cause, and we have to deal with it that way. So as we get older, we have increased NAD consumption, which is due to inflammation and also DNA damage. The DNA damage also happens when the pH is off, and when we're stressed, and when our cortisol is high, and when our testosterone is low. Now, the testosterone part is more relevant to men, but also relevant to women, just to a lower extent. However, the anti-aging implications and processes of the NAD are just as valid, okay? Also, human growth hormone, as that reduces over time, that limits our body's signaling capacity to be able to communicate to each other in the cells to ensure that everything is functioning at its optimal level. So if you find that you have brain fog, if your cardiovascular system is not able to get up and go like it used to, right? Those are all fundamentally because of the reduced efficacy of how NAD works. Now, not only does inflammation and DNA damage increase consumption of NAD, but the recycling of NAD is reduced due to the NAD salvage pathway activity and NAMPT enzyme production. Basically, it gets less efficient the more and more out of whack it gets, the less efficient it gets from two different directions. So when we supplement with NAD, you'll initially, especially if you're getting an NAD IV, you'll feel a flush going through your body, almost like a niacin flush, but it's like, it's not pins and needles, it's a pressure, it's internal. Especially, it's very good at detoxifying the body from opiates and from stimulants like Adderall. All right, I've seen many people, especially fitness competitors, when they get ready for a show, they're taking a bunch of Adderall and different stimulants, and they're probably on other, substances like testosterone or variants or human growth hormone, things like that. And those will all help, but it's the stress, it's the sheer amount of stress, thus your relationship to the stress, which is how your cortisol starts pumping in your body. And when you're in too high of a stress state, which when your body fat gets too low, like I'd say below 6%, right? Your body is in a chronically stressed out state. Not only that, but with life stresses like financial issues, relationship issues, different kind of, if you have a very stressful job, right? All these demands that are placed on your body. Our body and our mind are not made to be able to deal with the sheer amount of shit that's happening in the world right now. So because of all that, we have to be very mindful of self-care. So a big part of this as well is fundamentally learning how to deal with your stress, okay? We are trained and conditioned in this society to go, and to willpower, move, make things happen. We become human doings, and we forgot how to be a human being. Right? So learning how to slow yourself down, whether it's through breath work, through red light therapy, through vibroacoustic therapy, through peptides, through plant medicines, through counseling, through whatever processes that you find work for you, right? Learning how to mitigate and manage the emotional processes, and also nutrition plays a major part, especially with inflammation. Of course, all the other toxins in pharmaceuticals, especially that are out there, are destroying our body. So we have to put all this together and understand how and where we're hurting ourselves or supporting ourselves. Now, a major theme that I've been seeing going around, a lot of doctors are talking about, be careful of NAD because it can proliferate cancer growth. So to go into that topic, all right, cancer cells do utilize NAD to facilitate, just like any other cell, okay? But it primarily does that through the glycolysis pathway. Now, glycolysis is blood sugar. It's the sugar that's in your body through carbohydrates and through sugar consumption. So if you are concerned about the possibility of growth of cancer cells, then go ketosis, all right? Eliminate the carbs from your diet, and when your body is running on ketosis, that will help to not allow that glycolysis pathway to feed the cancer cells with the energy it needs to proliferate. And not only that, I would also go a step further and say combine NAD with either ozone therapy or hyperbaric oxygen therapy, because cancer cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment, right? So a lot of times not a lot of times, every time when someone develops cancer, there is a constriction, first of all, an emotional constriction that leads to a physical constriction, and that physical constriction cuts off blood supply to that particular area. So there are some specialists or doctors that would suggest that giving NAD inhibitors will actually help to kill off cancer cells. I strongly disagree with that theory, okay, because they're not considering what it's going to do to the rest of the body. The lower NAD production you have, the more senescent cells you're going to have, the weaker your immune system is going to be, all right? And so now you're going to be risking becoming immunocompromised and having other immune issues, and your body's not going to be strong enough to fend it off and break it down. So you can also add in methylene blue. All right, if you want to add in the methylene blue helps to oxygenate the cells. With NAD, they work very, very synergistically well together. Not only that, but you can also, and this is specific to cancer issues, right? You can also combine methylene blue with NAD and red light therapy. you want to add another aspect to it, which is a superhuman protocol that I created. Vibroacoustic therapy, red light therapy, methylene blue, and NAD together. It'll help to clean out, the methylene blue, especially with the red light therapy, helps to clean out pathogens and clear out pathogenic bacteria in the body. So you combine those things together. Now you have better oxygen flow. You have stronger mitochondria that can go through and clean up all the pathogens. And the pathogens are a great, massive contributor to cancer proliferation, right? Which is also something that Western medical specialists do not consider. All right, so we have to think outside the box on these things because NAD is a very powerful, very positive thing to utilize in your anti-aging regimen to be able to optimize your health and wellness, especially if you're trying to get off Adderall. NAD is a great way to clean out your adrenals and to push the Adderall out of the cells if you are trying to get off of opiates, right? A lot of my veteran people are on all kinds of opiates. So if you had a recent surgery, right, your immune system is tired, it's working really hard. NAD can work really well to help to give your body and your immune system the strength that it needs, the cellular energy that it needs to be able to heal. Also, a fun little fact is the two organs in the body that have the greatest amount of NAD need and production is the heart and the brain. So if you're feeling brain fog, if your cardiac muscle is not very strong, this will deeply help strengthen that. On top of that, because the brain is also very, very heavily saturated with mitochondria, right? Brain fog and all those things are, from not enough mitochondria in the brain. So if you want a clearer head and a real calm, flow-like energy, not a cracked out, Adderall-like energy, but a nice, flowy, centered, still kind of energy. So greatly help with that when you're sleeping, all right? This will help the brain get into that deep REM sleep and deep sleep so that it can recover and activate the lymphatic system, which is a whole nother level and a whole nother topic. All right, but there are so many reasons why NAD is so good and such a powerful ally. You just need to know how to take it for your specific circumstance. So if you would like some support and some help on how to optimally employ these tools to be able to optimize your health and optimize longevity and quality of life, go to my website, optimizinghuman.com, and you can go on the affiliate link, click on the affiliate link, Telewellness MD, and you can go get the NAD from the compounding pharmacy in a very legit way. It's highest quality, highest purity, and that's what you want when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, okay? Please let me know if you have any questions. Please, put the comment section down below, or you can message me on my website or anywhere, and either way, go to my website, optimizinghuman.com, and I'll see y'all in the next video.